Let me start by saying I know why Ratman from the Portal games went mad. My guess is that he tried to make a theory video with facts from both Portal 1 and 2 all crammed into a video in a sense that was both true to the secret story and didn't miss out any details, then edited all that together and realised that nobody is going to watch your fucking long ass video, so you delete it to teach yourself a lesson. But the thing is, it's not the first time you've made a video in its entirety only to delete it because it's not viable to a large audience. So what have you really learned?
Make more videos. Make more videos. X plus Y equals Y fucking not. More videos. The cake is a pie.
Okay, internet fuckers, here's the abridged version, concentrated into its holy goodness. Before we start, I want to get some feedback from the subscribers. I'm going to be introducing a Patreon to the channel as it'd help out tons, but I don't want it to be too divisive. So my question is, should I have no rewards other than getting like a bit of a better place to talk directly to me and obviously other patrons, or should I offer something like early access to videos? Anyway, I'd appreciate your input on this, so let me know your ideas in the comments. To prove that Glados is both Chell's mother and father, the theme of this video, we're going to look into the characters and events involved. Now, because I'm a fucking stud, I'm going to do Glados and Chell at the same time. Chell can start things off. The things we know about her aren't that detailed. We can guess she might be a dumpy little fucker, as discussed in our Is It Possible to Have Real Life Portal Boots video. I'll just pop the thumbnail for that video up on the screen so you can see how sexy that is, but don't worry about watching that yet. I'll put a link to it in the usual places if you haven't seen it yet. But the only things we do know is she's called Chell and female. So let's fill in some of those missing details, shall we? Chell's origin is hinted at throughout the game, like this Bring Your Daughter to Work Day science project stand that has the name Chell for all to see. Turning to the comic shows us that Chell's surname has been redacted from the Aperture system. That right there is a huge red flag. Who would have the authority to keep a surname out of the system, and why would they do that? Well, I'll offer a why, as it's the same reason I think we could get a third Portal game. Okay, I'll be honest, I hope we get a third Portal game, and it's the main reason I made this whole video. You see, one of my theories is that someone at Aperture Science was a spy for Black Mesa. They were leaking info to Cave's rivals, and that's why he was run up for them for so long. He even mentions how they stole his stuff.
Greetings, friend. I'm Cave Johnson, CEO of Aperture Science. You might know us as a vital participant in the 1968 Senate hearings on missing astronauts. And you've most likely used one of the many products we invented, but that other people have somehow managed to steal from us. Black Mesa can eat my bankrupt...
I'm even going to go one further and say it was his assistant Caroline who was leaking secrets. But honestly, Valve, I'll leave it up to you. I do think it should be called Portal 0.1 and set in the early Aperture setting, but other than that, I'll leave it up to you guys. Also, if you want to pop a little companion cube or personality core called Roley in, that would be great, but no pressure. Now, other than a Black Mesa spy, the other type of person to hide a surname would be someone who shares that surname with an illegitimate daughter. That's a bit of a stretch, I know, but honestly, Valve just fudged shit together to make this story, so just roll with it. So Cave Johnson could have had a secret daughter and hid a name off the system. He is also cold and driven enough to throw it into testing, so explains why she would be in the system in the first place. The link doesn't end there either. Cave Johnson doesn't just share a surname with his daughter, Chell Johnson. After all, what's in a name? Oh wait, the name Chell is derived from Rachel, a name from the Bible meaning little lamb or daughter. Oh shit, there is more in a name than we thought. But what else does Chell share with old Daddy Cave? Well, only a most important trait, tenacity. Think about it, all the thing Cave does in the face of logic, reason, and even ethics. None of that stands in his way because Cave never gives up. It's just not in his DNA.
Just a heads up, we're going to have a superconductor turned up full blast and pointed at you for the duration of this next test. I'll be honest, we're throwing science at the wall here to see what sticks. No idea what it'll do. Probably nothing. Best case scenario, you might get some superpowers. Worst case, some tumors, which we'll cut out.
It's as safe as possible now to assume Cave is Chell's father, but who is a mother? Again, logic dictates that the only person within reason for us to guess is Caroline, Cave's assistant. He does, after all, remark how attractive she is.
Isn't that right, Carolyn? She's the backbone of this facility. Pretty as a postcard, too. Sorry, fellas. She's married. To science.
And why else would she be in a portrait with him? They are, after all, something you usually only get with family members and loved ones. A man who spends every waking hour at work, and an attractive woman who is also spending a great deal of time at work leads to a game of hide the sausage. I just want you to take that in for a moment. There used to be a time when the stigma of having a child outside of marriage would be something you'd be ashamed of. I don't think it means anything now, as we're about 2 weeks away from being able to marry a horse, because the idea of marriage has become so watered down, it's worthless now. Plus, if the affair of Cave Johnson and Caroline happened in modern day Britain, it would be considered rape. I'm not bullshitting you. Never mind, I'm not really mentioning that English law states only a man can really be classed as a rapist, a fucking disgusting fact in itself. But England's stance of men are guilty until proven innocent would mean that Cave Johnson would be thought of as a dirty rapist. Fuck you, British law, Cave's not a rapist. Maybe someone can explain to me, do we turn to video games because the world is turning to shit? Or is the world turning to shit because we turn to video games? Enough about the Communist Republic of Britain. We've established the strongest candidate for Chell's father is Cave and most likely mother is Caroline. So what do we know about Caroline? Sadly, only that she was Cave's assistant and most likely Chell's mother, and that her name Carolyn is said to mean free man in the old Germanic language. I shit you not, so those who tried to shoehorn in Half-Life 3 confirmed connection in the comments, there's all the ammo you need. Think of it as an early birthday present from your old mate Roller. So where does Glados fit into all this, and how can she be both Chell's mother and father? Okay, so you know Caroline got put into Glados, as that was Cave's wish when he got ill. Glados got turned on, so logically Caroline is already in there. And we hear the famous bit in Portal 2 where you hear Glados reliving some of Caroline's memories.
Carolyn, why do I know this woman? Did I kill her? Yeah, take the lemons, burn his house down. Yeah. Oh, I like this guy. Burning people. He says what we're all thinking. Goodbye, sir.
But don't forget, the original plan was to have Cave's brain mapped and put into Glados. We all just presumed that he ran out of time and died before they could do that. But just think, who else was feverishly addicted to testing? Yep, that's right, Cave Johnson, the very man who built the company. My suggestion is that some early effort to map Cave's mind was put into Glados and formed the part of the basic Glados drive of wanting to continue to test in the name of science. So just like Caroline, who surfaced from a deep part of Glados,
the surge of emotion that shot through me when I saved your life taught me an even more valuable lesson, where Carolyn lives in my brain.
Carolyn deleted.
Goodbye, Carolyn.
Don't worry, I don't think she's really deleted. Cave 2 is in there somewhere, keeping the test running as he planned forever. That's why Wheatley turns evil when he's in the body, and we notice Glados' softer side when she's out of Cave's control. Again, we all overlook the genetic life form part of Glados' name and still think she's just a robot, but there's good reason she says you killed me. It's because she's alive, she's like any other animal. She's not just a programmable robot or something grown in a petri dish. Glados is a living organism made from the memories of Cave Johnson and Caroline. That's the huge clue Portal games hang under your nose. Caroline and Cave, the man who wanted to cheat death, are still alive. They're doing what they did before, working in science without limits, together now, forever. So there we have it, Glados is both Chell's mother and father. Case closed. If you want to get a third Portal game, try to get this on Valve's radar by sharing it with your friends. And if you're a Billy No Mates, well, fucking go out and make friends, you loser. That bit at the beginning about making a video and deleting it because not enough people will watch it isn't a joke either. Originally, this video started with an untold story style recap of events, then went on to discuss quite a few theories and fan questions. But seeing as you made it here to the end, I'll throw them in here as a Roley bonus. Here's some of those bits overly simplified. Doug Ratman is still alive. Cave Johnson could still be alive, not just through Glados. The time between events in Portal 1 and 2 could be as little as a year, and the people in stasis are the Aperture employees for Portal 1, then the top tier professionals like astronauts in Portal 2.
Must make more videos. Must make more videos. Must make more videos. The cake is a bit... No? Too monkey? Too masturbating? Ooh, he's a bird.